The ANC has failed to pay salaries to its staff on time this month. The organization asked staff members to make arrangements with banks, promising they would be paid no later than the 9th of October. The organization says COVID-19 is partly to blame for its financial woes. It also needs to reimburse the South African National Defence Force for the use of its jet by senior members on a fact-finding mission to Zimbabwe. Let's now chat to the ANC spokesperson, Pule Mabe. Pule, good evening to you. Thank you so much for your time. There are a number of things I want to chat to you about. Maybe let's start with that Zimbabwe trip. President Cyril Ramaphosa has published the report from the Defence Minister explaining how she ended up traveling with the ANC leaders on the SA Air Force jet, and that report has calculated how much the trip cost. Out of the total cost of 230,000 rand, the minister says the ANC has to pay just over 105,000 rand. Have you paid back that money?
Yes, evening Clement, and evening to your viewers. I can confirm that having received an invoice on how much the ANC is expected to pay, that money has been paid. The African National Congress has honored its own commitment, like it has said. You recall that in the past week we issued a statement where we had confirmed that we will reimburse monies associated with the travel of our own delegation. We can confirm to South Africans that that has since been done.
And when did you make that payment?
We did that payment today. As soon as we have received that, the Treasurer General's office has already handled that. It's done.
All right. So you have apologized to South Africans because you, quite frankly, and as we've said before, abused state resources and bled the lines between party and state. You have now paid back the money. What lessons are you taking from this experience as the ANC?
Just to correct you, Clement, I think that you have used words that we have not used, blurring party lines between party and state. The African National Congress had come out to communicate the mission that it was set to fulfill in Zimbabwe, which was about regional solidarity. The ANC was not going out to Zimbabwe to fulfill a personal interest. We were out there to consolidate the stability of that country. Engagements are continuing. There was a statement issued between ourselves and ZANU-PF, which began to characterize the nature in which those conversations or engagements took place. We've also gone further to say that the ANC, having engaged with ZANU-PF, will be going back to Zimbabwe to engage even with the opposition parties and all other stakeholders in Zimbabwe to be able to seek a compact that drives that country further forward.
All right. So, Pule, if what I'm using, the words I've described and used there are wrong, which is blaring the line between party and state and abusing state resources, when you released a statement as the ANC and apologized to South Africans, what were you apologizing for? What did you do wrong?
Well, I think just to remind you of the word we used, we humbled ourselves before the people of the country, and in this regard said that we will be reimbursing funds associated with the usage of the aircraft by the ANC delegation. That has since been done, which is the commitment that the party has done to the people of South Africa.
Yeah, but I'm asking, what have you done wrong? So when you're humbling yourself to South Africans and you are paying back this money, what is it that you have done wrong as the ANC?
Well, a concern was being raised about the travel and all of that. The African National Congress has since sought to say that it will reimburse the state, because in any event, even if it was not the use of this specific aircraft, our own delegation would have had to meet with our counterparts in Zimbabwe to be able to deal with issues in that country. So the commitment, can I just conclude on this one?
Yeah, sure.
The commitment to meet with ZANU-PF is one point that the ANC has always expressed. That's why we've acted in the manner that we have done, because we are committed to regional stability.
All right. The president has taken action against the Minister of Defense. He found it was an error of judgment on her part to use the plane to convey political party delegation. In fact, here's what he said. He says the minister did not act in the interest of good governance as required by the executive members' code She failed to adhere to legal prescripts warranting care in the use of state resources, and she acted in a way that is inconsistent with her position. This is damning, and this is your deployee in government. What action are you going to take against her as the party that deployed her, above and beyond the action that the president has taken, or do you think that's not necessary?
Well, Clement, there are lessons to be drawn out of all this exercise. The ANC is a responsible party, so are all of its deployees. We need to draw certain lessons and then moving forward, be able to do things even much better. What ought to be understood by the rest of South Africa's people is that the actions of the ruling party in this instance were to be in the interest of the rest of South Africa's people. There are lessons to be learned, and when we have drawn lessons, we are then able to go back and then say, how do we make sure that going forward we do things even much better so that we can assure our people that we are committed to the sustenance of our democratic order.
Yeah. So what I'm getting from you then, Pule, is you are satisfied with the action that the president has taken, and as the party, you don't find it necessary to take action against her and follow your own processes?
Well, we are satisfied with the processes that has been undertaken. To show our satisfaction, we have already submitted ourselves, we have paid the invoice that has been issued, and we can assure South Africans that that payment has been done. We understand that the mission that the ANC was fulfilling, it's all about regional stability. It's got nothing to do with the subjective party interest. It's got everything to do with the region.
But do you accept that as the ANC, you made her complicit? You got her in trouble by not understanding the line between party and state when you asked for that lift?
Well, I think that accepting or not accepting is not really an issue here. I think what is important is that the ANC has acted to fulfill the commitment it has made that it will reimburse the state, which shows that in any event, the ANC will have procured or paid for the trip of its delegation to Zimbabwe. In any event, the ANC had to fulfill that mission because it was a National Executive Committee decision that we ought to engage Zimbabwe. The National Executive Committee has reflected a number of issues and felt that it is important. It is not only happening with Zimbabwe, it happens with all others because we are part of the global world. And we in the ANC believe that we ought to play a role in consolidating universal unity and universal stability.
There's still clarity that still needs to be sought here, Pule, about what the president of the ANC knew. Did he know about the arrangement between the minister and the ANC delegates? Was he involved when travel arrangements were discussed as to how these ANC leaders were going to get to Zimbabwe?
Well, I think, Clement, I clarified myself on the issue of Zimbabwe. I wouldn't want to be over-exhaustive because I'm going to bore your viewers.
No, the viewers are not going to be bored, Pule, I can assure you. They want to know if the president of the ANC was aware of the arrangement between the ANC delegation and the Minister of Defense.
I think that those issues have already been ventilated out in the public. The ANC has already communicated its own statement. We're humbling ourselves before South Africans, and we're coming out to say that we have reimbursed as per the commitment we have made.
But in that statement, Pule, and even in the statements that were ventilated in public, you have not indicated what I'm asking you. I'm asking, is the ANC president, was he involved in the arrangements of the ANC delegation to get to Zimbabwe through the minister, through the lift with the Minister of Defense? That's what I want to understand.
Well, it's okay, Clement. I understand what you want to understand. I wouldn't want to be drawn.
Why? Why would you not want to be drawn?
Safe to say that, no. Because you must never attempt to exclude the president of the ANC from the overall collective of the leadership of the African National Congress. When the decision was taken to make a reimbursement, it was made in concurrence with the president of the African National Congress. So all leaders of the ANC, including its own president, understand the steps that have been taken by the party to deal with this issue. Yeah. So the party collectively together, no, Clement, let me make my point. Because the president of the ANC is part of the collective leadership of the African National Congress. the collective leadership of the African National Congress has taken a decision that it is going to make a reimbursement for the usage of that SANDF flight. It has since made that kind of reimbursement. It is coming back to confirm to South Africans that the commitment it has made has since been fulfilled.
Yes, and I get that, Pule. You're talking about the reimbursement. I'm talking about the genesis of the issue. Did the president... So you are... Wait, Pule, I've given you a chance to respond. Help me, indulge me. I'm asking you about... You spoke about the collective decision-making of the ANC, that the president sits within the collective of the leadership of the ANC, especially even when they decided to reimburse the money. So what that communicates is the president was also involved in the collective decision of the ANC when they decided that the ANC delegation was going to be traveling to Zimbabwe with the defense minister.
Well, Clement, I clarified the issue, and I think that what was important was to make sure that where there are concerns, the ANC acts in the affirmative to resolve all of those.
Did the president know or not, Pule? Or you can't say?
We are coming out to confirm. You see, it's very important that when the party comes out to confirm the commitment it has made, the party limits itself to that which it said will come out to clarify.
Okay, so even if South Africans want more answers to what you are coming to clarify, you're not willing to do so because you want to stick to your statement?
I don't think that, we wouldn't have agreed to talk to you if there are questions that we do not want to answer. Safe to say that there is no individual leader of the ANC that must ever be excluded from the committee. So the president, the deputy president, the secretary general, the deputy secretary general, the treasurer general, and the entirety of the National Executive Committee are aware of the steps that have been undertaken to resolve that shortcoming. All
right. So you have paid back the money to the Defense Department. Is that why the party couldn't pay salaries for its employees yesterday?
Well, I can now assure you that we've begun paying salaries to staff. Today, about 205 of our staff members have been paid. The balance will be paid tomorrow. The purpose of the communique that we issued was to at least allay our staff in case there are delays. One of the things that the African National Congress has done was to make sure that even during COVID conditions, we do not subject our staff to retrenchment. We have not retrenched even a single staff member from the employ of the African National Congress. What we sought to do all the time was that when there are delays with regard to their payment, we'll bring them. You will know that the ANC is a fundraising-based organization. We are part of the parties that really can vouch for party political funding, so that the funding of political parties is done transparently, openly, and all of that, so that political parties who carry the duty of being public representatives could have their affairs being open out there to the public for any or whatever form of scrutiny that could be there. I can tell you now that we began today paying our staff members. The view is so what we are intending is to make sure that when we finish this weekend, all of our staff members would have received their salaries. What we always do, which is practice in the ANC, is to make sure that every time there are delays with regard to payment, we will issue communiques advising our staff of such delays so that they are not inconvenienced. We do this because we value the role that our staff members are expected to play in allowing the ANC to carry its mammoth task of leading the South African society.
Where did you get the money, Pule? The party's manager, Phoebe Potgieter, told Eyewitness News that the COVID-19 outbreak exacerbated the party's money troubles. That's why I'm asking, did you sacrifice... hold on, Pule. That's why I'm asking, did you sacrifice paying salaries to pay the Defense Department?
Well, salaries were paid already. 205 of our staff members have already been paid. Tomorrow, a balance has been paid. If you look at it, it's just a day outside the month. And today, the staff members have already been paid. Tomorrow, the balance of our staff members will also be paid. Now, everyone else is going to be paid by tomorrow. So there's no one who has been compromised. Dealing with the issue of defense and attending to the issue of our staff, these are two separate matters. In any way, we're writing a letter to them in case, because remember, we are fundraising based. The ANC is a non-profit making organization. We raise funds. The Treasurer General is hard at work raising funds to make sure that we are able to fulfill our commitments. When there are delays in doing that work, we have got a duty as a responsible party to advise those that depend on the organization for their own subsistence on this kind of shortcomings. If we do not do that, we'll be acting recklessly.
Do you have money to pay them for next month?
You are saying?
Do you have the money to pay them for this month, end of October?
Well, in the same way that eNCA has got money to pay all of you there, we do have money to pay our staff.
All right, I'm happy to hear that. I want to get some reaction from you, Pule. The reaction to the arrests of some of the party's senior leaders this week, those allegedly involved in the asbestos project in the Free State, like the former mayor of Mangaung, and those allegedly involved in the Bosasa corruption, like Vincent Smith. As the ANC, how are you reacting to these developments?
Well, it's important that we allow these processes that are being undertaken to take their full course. Law enforcement agencies are at work. It would be unfair for the ANC to want to pass judgment or make conclusive statements about this work. We have already spoken about the work that the State Capture Commission is doing, and we have said that they must be given the space to do their work because we believe in the independence of these institutions.
There's a businessman that has been arrested, Pule, who was involved in the asbestos project. And he paid money to the ANC through some of the party's senior leaders like Zweli Mkhize, Paul Mashatile. He has paid the money to his friends like Zizi Kotwa, who is also a senior leader in the ANC. Can you confirm if the party did receive the monies from Edward Sodi, and what was that money for?
Well, where donations have been received by the ANC, those records would be there when within our own Treasurer General's offices. And the ANC has never come out to comment whether to eNCA or to anyone what it receives donations for. But the ANC does go out to raise funds from time to time, whether it is through gala dinners, whether it is through all other citizen fundraising methods that the Treasurer General may from time to time opt to deploy. We do that all the time. We are a non-profit making organization. We raise funds from businesses and from all other philanthropic organizations that associate with the ideals that we stand for as a political party.
Are you prepared to pay back the money if it's found that the money is part of the proceeds of that corrupt tender in the Free State?
Well, I wouldn't want us, Clement, at this stage to take that kind of an overreach stand. It suffices to say that law enforcement agencies are dealing with these issues. Let us give them that space.
Yeah, it's fine. We can give them space, Pule. But if the money is dirty, if people have donated to the ANC using state funds that were looted by criminals, surely you have to pay back that money.
Well, the ANC, as a responsible party, is watching these developments with keen interest.
Will you pay back the money, Pule, if it's proven it's the proceeds of crime?
Because you see, not even in the media, the media does not pass judgments on cases that are before the courts. The media must allow the courts to exercise their powers on matters that are before them. Only when a true judicial system has been able to pronounce itself, only then can the ANC pronounce itself.
Pule Mabe.
The ANC has always said that it is not going to make running comments on these issues. It is going to allow the process to run its own course. Let's allow all of these structures to run their own course. We did say ourselves as the African National Congress that we need to make sure that there is justice is done on all of this matter.
All right. Pule Mabe, I really appreciate your time on eNCA this evening. Thank you so much.